up? I don't know what's going on.
No, I pulled you over?
No, absolutely not.
There is another cop that I wanted to talk to you about. This cop, who I believe was used by Jones, Chief Jones, to harass you. He impounded your motorcycle. The motorcycle was damaged. This cop ended up getting fired and ended up working at Walmart at the deli. A picture was taken of this cop working at the deli. It was sent to you. And we were able to highlight that this cop who harassed you, impounded your motorcycle, ended up screwing with the wrong person and had to go work at Walmart in the deli.
You have a motorcycle endorsement on your driver's license?
Yeah, I sure do. You better. Did you not run it?
Well, it says you have a permit.
Yeah, and a permit over the age of 21 gives you the permission to ride anytime.
No, it doesn't. I need to see your driver's license and proof of insurance, please.
You're definitely full of it. So you're telling me on a motorcycle permit I can't ride at night?
That's correct. 30 minutes before daylight.
It's still daylight. It's still daylight, sir.
Official daylight time was 7:11.
You're trying hard, aren't you? You guys are really trying here.
You want to tell us a little bit about Officer Penrod?
Yeah, that one's actually sad to me, to be honest. I had no problem with Penrod. He was always respectful to me when I saw him out and about. He was always very polite. Never would I have thought he would have done what he did that night.
Proof of insurance?
I'm getting it. Chill out. What made you guys run my name, Mobley? What made you guys run my name? You and Penrod ran it to see that I only had a motorcycle permit? So how do you guys only know I have a permit?
I don't drink, I tell you.
I'm not your friend, sir. Please don't come.
You don't want to talk to friends.
What?
You're not my friend, I like talking to you.
Because you're an officer who stopped me with what I feel is a retaliatory stop. After Embley just flipped me off, your boss.
He's on the boss.
He's above you.
No, it was
This is your boss for sure. But I mean, the fact that this guy and the chief just allowed you guys to sit there and watch Embley and his son flip me off, that's very not okay. And then I've got video of people telling me, you better be careful. Are you telling me I can't speak now?
I'm telling you no well.
I'm not doing anything, sir. You're not going to control my First Amendment. I'm sorry, Mobley. You're mistaken. That's the problem we continue to have. That's the problem we continue. I'm not going to talk to you no more, sir. Continue your day.
Thank you.
On the 9th, I got some charges from Embley, it was the 25th of August is when the indictment came from Embley making up charges on me. And then everything kind of spiraled from there. I called the prosecutor on the 15th because I didn't know what was going on with these charges that Embley had made. I literally have a recording of me asking the prosecutor for help. I'm like, they're ramping stuff up. Please help me. Keep these officers away from me with what they're trying to do. They're trying to make up, BS crimes to take my freedom. And from there, it was, I'll see what I can do from the prosecutor pretty much. Yeah, you guys gonna tow my bike? You guys towing it? Let's do that. We can do that. Because I know for a fact that a motorcycle permit's legal and I was out here 30 minutes. It's gonna look real retaliatory, sir. It was daytime. I don't know who's in that truck, but I definitely want their version of the video that shows the daytime too. You guys have a bad fan bearing. You guys didn't know that, sir. Mobley, you can hear that? Do you hear that fan bearing? You guys, it's gonna cause some severe damage if that thing explodes into the radiator, man. Well, I would love to help you guys. You know, Mobley, honestly, man. If we could have this rapport of respect, I would respect the hell out of you. I actually like Penrod. Have you noticed I haven't said anything rude to Penrod? I respect the hell out of him because he's always shown me respect. If he wants to get into saying... That night, there was a council meeting. It was like a Friday night, and they had a weird, special council meeting that night. So I decided to ride my bike into town, my Harley. And I have a vintage 1990 Harley Davidson, and it's a FXR. They only made it for 10 years, from 1984 to 94. And then mine's a Florida State Highway Patrol bike. So it's got, it's a special bike, And I was in town on it. Was 32 at the time. Any law on motorcycle permits here in Missouri, they only really have restrictions until you're 16, maybe 18. But I was 32. And so it was one of those things that I was at City Hall. I'm at the council meeting. and it starts to get dark. I decide I'm going to go home, and I go to leave town. As soon as I left town, I guess, all of the cops followed me out. Well, I got stuck behind some train tracks, and there was a train coming through. So I'm sitting there, the train goes through. I go to start my bike after the end of the train, and I go to start to move, and I see berries and cherries behind me. So I basically just pull 5 feet over and stop, and it's Penrod, and he's telling me that I'm not legal to ride my motorcycle this close to dark. It's literally still light out. I could have seen all the way home. I only live like 3 minutes from town. I could have seen all the way home without a headlight, without any lights.
First, they had your bike listed as a Honda, and I told them to recheck it, and they rechecked it. It comes back as a Harley.
So you towing my bike, man?
That I am going to, because you are massive.
You do know that that's going to be a fight in court. You do know this, right, Penrod?
I understand.
And I'm going to sue you guys for punitive damages. You could just let me leave town and ride home. I'm 2 minutes from home, sir.
All right. Come here. Set a court date all the way out to November 10th this year at 1 o'clock, above address. You want a sign right there stating you understand you have a citation, you'll need to take care of it by that date or you come to
I have no problem signing it. It's not an admission of guilt, right?
That is 100% correct.
You guys got to understand, I don't hate you guys.
I understand.
Why? I don't know why you guys want to mess with me.
Understand that all I'm doing
So why are you towing
is
me,
when
though, sir?
Well, because number one,
it's
you're not a
retaliatory.
licensed. No, it's because you're not a licensed driver at this point.
It's retaliatory, sir.
No, I don't play retaliation.
So are you okay with how they've been treating me then?
Huh?
Are you okay with how Emily and
I
them...
don't know exactly what they have been doing. All I hear is...
Well, I would love to talk to you about it sometime if you would like to know.
Sometime we can talk about it. All right?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm a little concerned that you're throwing yourself into some shit under a retaliatory circumstance, sir.
No, that is not my game because I don't play games.
Well, listen, Penrod, you ain't lost my respect, sir.
All right.
But I do think that this is a dirty trick.
Okay. I was told before you just had a permit. All right. And anybody I'm told just has permits. They're after hours.
But can you not say it was it not light out when you stopped me?
Okay.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Let me explain what daylight means. Okay.
I get what you're saying.
Now hang on. You don't understand. So I have to explain.
No, you're saying at the time of day when they tell you online when you look what time it says. Yeah.
Online, it clearly gives 100. I'm talking with you. I can't stop him at the moment. Okay, I'm on a stop. So here's what you have to understand: the National Weather Service gives us an exact time every single day. What hours? I'm secure. And he's telling me that I can't have my bike out right now because it's 30 minutes before sunset and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not legal to even ride it home. So I already knew where it was going, that they were going to try and impound my bike. So from that point, I'm already trying to find laws on the phone for what he was telling me. But I'm like, I tend to read laws really, as thorough as I can when someone tells me a law. So I was pretty aware of the motorcycle law he was talking about relating to the permits. Well, we go back and forth for a little bit. He decides basically that he's gonna tow my bike, and I showed him the law, then told him what he was doing was not legal. He reads the law on my phone, on his phone. When he gets to the point that exempts me because of my age from what he was trying to do to me, he reads over it as blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, they're using you. They're going to use you to take my bike, but you're going to be the one that takes the punishment for what they're doing. And he's like, I'm not going to argue with you, mister. And said my last name and all that crap. And gives us the times. All right? I don't make those times. Neither does anybody else in this state.
You know how that could be confusing, right? Though that someone would see, even if let's say, and you have discretion, do you not?
I'm secure.
You have discretion, though, do you not?
Not on that.
Why not on that? I'm not even 30 minutes.
It's a very specific time.
Well, what time did it say tonight that it did that?
Huh?
What time tonight did it say it did that?
7-11.
7-11. And what time did you stop me?
Huh?
What time did you stop me?
7:43.
So exactly 30 minutes? You guys waited exactly 30 minutes after?
32 minutes.
All right, we're good, dude. That's all I needed, Penrod. Mom, they got me 32 minutes after daylight, and it's supposed to be 30 minutes is the crime. We have to stay here because they're not going to tow my bike funny. I'm going to follow him to River City, too, because I want to watch it. Where's it going, then?
Why do we have to tow it?
Because he won't use discretion. So, time out. Hey, so am I gonna? So you guys are towing this and
Do not,
Mom, stop. They're gonna try and get you for interference. Okay, so what I'm asking you, Penrod, is where's it going?
It's going to the city of Penrod.
Okay, how does that?
So it's more
I can
safe.
come get it tomorrow, then, right?
Yes.
Okay, because the way that worked, you guys have been charging people the all weekend fee BS.
Huh?
You guys have been charging people to get their stuff out of impound. If I didn't get it, say on a Friday, I would be charged Saturday, Sunday, and I can't pick it up until Monday.
Yes.
Is that true now?
That is normally true. If there's
So you guys,
if there's somebody down at City Hall, they can take the money. They can take your money. Not really.
are they open tomorrow?
Huh?
Are they open tomorrow?
I think the license office is open tomorrow.
Is that who I can pay?
If one of the girls are down there that work in one of the other offices.
Because I mean, I can drive my bike home tomorrow, right? And I think it's really suspicious that Emily's son followed you to do this stuff. Mom, that's Emily's two. That's Emily's two boys right there.
Exactly.
The one that called me on the phone and made all those threats.
Right.
You know you jumped into this. Stop. You're gonna have a trumped up charge too. You do know that what you're doing, man. Like, you get that, right? Look what he did right when you stopped me. Look what he did.
Okay. I see somebody over there.
That's Emily's son. I know that's Robert Jr. Do you want me to go get it? Am I still detained? Mom, will you go record who's in that truck? That's Emily's son. They're saying they don't know who it is. Well, that next day, I went in to try and get it because he told me numerous times I could come get it out of impound the next day. Well, City Hall was closed. He knew City Hall was closed. He just wasn't trying to have that argument the night before. Oh, and while they were doing my bike, like I said, all the officers followed me out. Chief William Jones got in Emily's son's truck, which had dark tinted windows, and they pulled up on my stop and parked across the street from my stop and watched the whole thing. I'm sure recorded it on phones and stuff like that, what they were doing to me. I truthfully feel that they thought because of how I act in situations that I would get riled up and they'd be able to put hands on me, because Emily was just around the corner in town where he just had like maybe a 10-second drive up the road, but you couldn't really see him from where I was. I think he was going to jet up there and come whoop my ass with Penrod, and if I did anything, basically.
Word.
And I'm the type of person that if I know I have the upper hand, or if I know someone else is messing up super bad, I'm not going to sit there and poke at them. I'm going to sit back and just watch them dig their own hole. But there's times when, like, I'll talk extra with the stuff with them because it's funny to me. Get the plate, Mom. You guys have to understand, we both work at a law office. You know that, right?
I understand that.
So he just spun rocks on you. Better do something about that. You better do something about that. I'm writing. He just spun rocks on my mother. He just spun rocks on my mother. That's assault. I want him arrested. I want him arrested. I want him arrested right now. Mom, are your legs okay? She's disabled. Look at her feet. She's disabled, and you guys.
Okay.
Penrod, tow my bike. Let's get this done. I want him arrested for assault right now.
Call his dad.
I want him arrested right now. Mom, call county. Call the county. You just got gravel spun on you by Emily's son. You were just assaulted by someone. You walked up to record their vehicle to see why they were interfering in a traffic stop. Because you guys do know that I'm no longer detained, right? You gave me my information back, right?
I understand.
So she's no longer interfering in a traffic stop. You do know that, right?
She was interfering.
No, but you had already given me. You had already given me my information.
Penrod,
I know the laws, man.
Okay.
You're not going to get me on that,
Quit
buddy.
trying to cut me off, bud.
But you're not going to get me on that, man.
I'm
You
not
just
trying to get you on anything other than for your safety, and I have already said I was towing the vehicle. I'm stuck here.
So do you guys?
Then I can go after what?
Do you think that was
happened.
appropriate?
Huh?
Do you think that was appropriate?
If that is exactly who's in the vehicle,
That is
I do not.
That is Robert or his son. Either one of his boys drive that vehicle.
Okay.
I want either one that was driving arrested, if not both. That's how you guys would do it normally, right? If me and my friends were driving in a vehicle and we didn't cause the crime, you'd arrest us both.
Well, let me figure out.
They better tell on themselves. She works for an attorney and he just assaulted her.
Okay.
And you witnessed it.
Makes me a professional witness, don't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hope you hold your oath true, Penrod. That will, listen, you will have all my respect. I will never ever say a bad thing about any other cop in this area if you actually hold your oath and protect my mother right there. You have my word on that. And I'll shake your hand and promise you that, sir. On everything. I will never disrespect another officer anywhere in this county, in this world, if you do the right thing and protect my mother from what that man just did. Well, they took my bike. He calls me the next day. Even on video, I tell him when I get there, I'm like, I told you, man, they were using you. Because you guys, I know for a fact if I spun rocks on anybody, you guys would arrest me.
Okay, I've had them spin them on me.
But that's not legal.
Okay. I'm not saying it's legal. See, you're trying to add words into.
You have to understand I'm frustrated, sir.
I understand.
I got my key.
It's actually probably better if you leave the keys.
Wow, they don't need to run my motorcycle. You can push the
I
motorcycle.
don't know what Bud Jones is bringing to learn.
Better be a flatbed.
That's what I'm getting at. I don't know how.
He's not driving it. He's not driving it.
Sometimes they pull him up on there.
He's not driving it, sir. I don't give permission for anybody to ride my motorcycle.
That's fine.
I'm putting it in neutral for him, though. I'll be that nice and generous. So when the county comes, are you still going to be here?
I'm going to be here until the bike gets picked up.
So then are we going to have the county come find you?
I mean, they can get a hold of me on the radio. We have both radios.
So should you call and tell them that you witnessed the call that just came through?
If they ask me about it, I will tell them what I saw.
Okay, sir. I get that you say I'm cutting you off, and I do that sometimes. I talk loud. People think I'm yelling at them normally.
I don't take it as you're yelling. I take it as.
Do you remember when I came in your office that time and talked to you?
Yeah.
No problems. Respect. You know what I'm saying? I've never said a bad word about you. Have you ever heard me say anything about you like I with the other officers? But okay, so you guys got to hear me out. What is?
I'm secure.
What am I supposed to do if I get my bike back now and it's got something wrong with it now? Because it was running healthy and fine. When you guys take it, what's to secure this to say that they're not going to, that Embly's son's not going to come damage it? You just saw him spin rocks on my mom.
Bud Jones, Yahweh, River City, all of them, they do an inspection of the vehicle because they're looking to say, I don't want anybody to say.
I mean, this is a rare bike. This is an old cop bike, man.
Okay. Stop again. Here's what I'm saying. They do an inspection, and then I do an inspection. I go around it. Now, I'm not a mechanic, but I'm just going to play. Okay. But I go around and I make sure, okay, this is what I got. This is everything else. To make sure there's nothing wrong with it from where they pick it up and they drop it off. Now, if they damage it while they're loading it, we take...
But what I'm saying, can you vouch then that when I start it up, can I start it up and you can hear the engine runs fine?
Yeah.
So that when I get it back, if it's got like sugar in the gas tank or something?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you guys heard me pull away. I was told that you guys followed right out after me when Des was at the stop sign and everything. I've already been told you guys ripped ass to get me. You guys were ready for it.
I didn't rip ass, bud.
Got fired right up?
Yeah.
No engine knocks? No engine knocks, nothing wrong with it. Sounds clean and smooth, right? You can hear my nice air filter.
Is this right here?
Yeah, my license plate bracket just broke, honestly, when I got to town.
But I'm just saying.
No, exactly. Only thing. I vouch for that, too. I agree. I'm going to step out the way. So.
Yes.
You know, Mobley, and I really, the same way I am with him, sir, I don't have issues with you. I truthfully don't. I meant it yesterday when I said I respect that you waved at me. If you want to wave at me every time, I'll wave back at you. I don't have beef with you, sir. But this whole issue, I get you guys have people above you that you follow orders. I get you're saying, but how did you know my license was only a permit? Because Jones told you.
No, Jones did not.
Or Embley, someone told you that was there.
Most people with a motorcycle that get ran, if somebody has just a permit or don't have a motorcycle endorsement, and trust me, we have a buttload of them that don't. So when they're seen out after the hours, and I'm on, I would pull any one of them over.
But how do you know that mine was, that I only have a permit?
Huh?
How did you know that I only had a permit, though? Where did you get that? They sent you a big old file that says Ryan Jacob only has a permit?
No, when they run them, a lot of officers write down the information, especially like I know that your learner's permit for the motorcycle expires in 4 days.
Probably right. It's been 6 months, probably.
Right. So, like I said.
But you, so I just want to make this clear, though, because I've read the law a few times, and I think that we have an interpreting issue going on. So you're interpreting the permit for all ages. So, I mean, under your interpretation, I can't even ride with a passenger, right?
You can't with a permit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, under your interpretation.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I shouldn't even not have a helmet on under your interpretation. I need a helmet, too.
No, you're old enough to not have a helmet.
But you get what I'm saying, right? I'm old enough to ride at night too. I've already gone through this with state troopers and stuff. You're interpreting the law wrong. Once you go over 18, you get new rights on the permit. Once you go over 21, you get new rights on the permit. I'm 32, sir.
Oh, well, I know you. I knew you was either 32 or 33.
No, but you get what I'm saying. I'm 32, so it's like...
the reason I know is I know that one time I heard, I think it was Tiffany Ardno indicated that you all went to school together.
Yeah.
Same grade.
No, she's a year older than me, I believe.
Okay.
I think she's 08, I was 09.
Okay.
And so that's the thing, like, I'm getting hated on, but you go run my information. I actually would tell you to do this. I don't have shit from 2014 when I was in Warrensburg, Missouri and got arrested for possession of pot. I have nothing until Jones pulled me over for flipping him off that day, and he thought that was a sign of distress. I mean, Penrod, if I flipped you off, if you didn't know me, I didn't know you, I flipped you off, would you think that was a distress signal?
I'm going to answer it this way. Not being there and not seeing what happened, I don't know.
Okay, well then I got another question then. Normally, if someone's in distress and they need an officer's assistance, would they need emergency lights to stop? And I'm talking about the driver. If the driver's in distress, needs an officer's assistance, wouldn't they normally, in theory, pull over and get the help from the officer that's coming, or would the officer need to initiate a stop?
I would say the majority of the time, they would stop.
That's what I'm getting now. So you see, this is what started it, was my rights were violated.
But I can also see times if somebody else is in the car telling them, don't stop. And they're just trying to...
My car was empty, which is my daughter in the back seat. He couldn't see back there, but
there was somebody else.
But he didn't know she was back there because she was directly behind me.
That's what I mean.
So
now, being directly behind you, somebody else could have been sitting back there too. Could they not? Could they not?
Maybe. Okay.
Possibly.
I will accept that. You know,
we're talking about theoretical ideas.
But do you see how me and you were having this conversation? I would sit down and talk to Jones and Embley like this, sir.
Okay.
They don't.
Like
they won't even respect me.
Due to the fact we are talking hypothetically with ifs.
Yes.
It feasibly could be possible, maybe not probable, that somebody else could have been back there telling you, no, you ain't stopping.
No, and I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But in that circumstance, I'd probably have ran from him too, right?
Unless they're in your car.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe not.
So I get what you're saying, and what time was it today? I know it is. You just looked it up. Yeah, I know it is. He's mistaken, and that's why there's going to be punitive. I'm not trying to tell you. You know you're going to be lumped into the lawsuit here if I am right, don't you?
Yeah.
Because you're towing my motorcycle, and this is causing me damage. And you know I wrote a complaint on him yesterday, right?
No.
You weren't aware of that?
No.
So it's probably not.
This is my first
you know
day
this
back.
is probably inappropriate. He's here though, right?
Well, that's why he's not actually part of my stop. I am. Somebody dropped him off.
I will tell you.
Somebody dropped him off to get his truck keys out of the car. When I left the station, I did not realize his keys were still in my car.
I will.
Personal vehicle.
Yeah, I've got a ticket for driving, so I'm going to have to fight that now too. November.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's only for under 18.
What it is it goes to 18, Mom. You have so much rights on a permit once you're 18, and then you get more rights once you go over 18 to 21. And after 21, your permit is the same as a license.
Right.
It's just you have to renew it every 6 months.
Right,
Which was what I do. You should definitely look into that, buddy. I think that you're back in the law.
that's fine. If they're
Why
gonna
do-
all right.
How many times can you...
More hiding in the damn dark.
You're not gonna offend me. You can say, I honestly, you won't offend me. I respect the hell out of you. I respect the hell
How
out of
many
you.
times can a person just renew their permit?
As many as
Forever?
they want. Yeah, forever.
That's weird.
I've done it. I've probably done it 20 times now, man, since I was like 22 years old. This is more than that. You know what I'm saying?
That's weird.
I don't want to go. I don't have a reason to go get that when the permit's that easy. I just go get the permit and I'm good to go, right? But you do understand that if, let's say in a hypothetical, that if it is 21, you get open rights, and you're misinterpreting that, you're now towing my bike.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're.
But then I would also waive all the tow fees.
But I'm still put out, and
I get what you're saying.
There's still punitive damage and the gas to get a ride.
Okay, but I would also be more than willing to say, if I made a mistake, I'm more than willing to say, I made a mistake and I did this.
And you know what?
this.
I believe you would too.
Okay?
I truthfully do.
That is
I truthfully do
just
believe
me.
you. I truthfully do believe you. It sucks that you're the one that had to do this to me. I wish it would have been Emily or somebody else, because I know that they were all biting to do something. His son kept taunting me and taunting me and taunting me to come back, and with the spinning rocks on my mom. Emily might not be happy, though, if you're going to have to be a witness against his son. Or boys, because that's both his boys that were driving that truck.
Well, it couldn't be both driving it.
Is one only... Oh, he's a funny guy. My bad. I get what you're saying. See, it looks like I'm some big dog criminal like you guys got here. I didn't even really do anything. I mean, that's the thing here. This is either a like shitty mistake on one of our parts. You know what I'm saying? It's either on your part or my part. But that law, clearly there's a misinterpretation, because you didn't even know you could just renew your permit forever.
Well, I didn't know how many times you could renew.
There's no limit. There's no limit.
I've never went to get a motorcycle.
But you know that's a question I had to have on the test too, right? Was the hours I'm allowed to ride, because the permit is what you get first. When you first go get your motorcycle license, you get a permit. You can ride a permit as long as you want.
Applicants under the age of 16 are also restricted to riding only during daylight hours. Under 16.
You might have messed up, buddy.
I did. I'm more than willing to be an adult.
I know, Mom. I've already read this numerous times. I've tested on it and everything. I know I'm in the right here. I can ride any time. I can ride at 1 in the morning if I want to. If you look it up and you find out I'm right, are you going to rip my ticket up?
Yep.
How do I get reimbursed for my 30 minutes I've been here, 40 minutes? Because I should be at home. Man, my bike's all dusty. You think they'll give it a clean for me at least there? Hell yeah. I bought this thing and it's got you know how many miles are on this thing from the Florida Highway Patrol? 111,000. Most bikes don't go over 20. She's a good bike though. Who's the court date gonna be with? Does that be with your guys's, or is that through Alex Ellison also? Like my criminal charges. I'm a little confused because when Emily pressed criminal... Because Emily pressed criminal charges on me through Alex. That's why you probably don't know the whole story on that stuff. I haven't heard it all. But hey, at the very least, you know why I like to do what I do, officer? Penrod? I do what I do because at the very least, if I can educate an officer on anything, I love it.
All right. 302-132. Scroll all the way down. The operator shall not travel at any time from a half hour after sunset to a half hour before sunrise.
Is this for all permit? Because where's the age stuff in there? I don't see the age.
That's above it.
Okay, so where does it say that it separates that? 'Cause I don't know that you're reading it all together.
Okay. This is all the major sections, and then this is any person having a motorcycle permit, having immediate possession shall, blah, 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 blah. Then it breaks down what is and what is not allowed. Number 2. The operator shall not travel any time from a half hour after sunset to a half hour before sunrise.
Okay, and so also, if she looked up the time today and you were wrong on it being 7:11 and it was 7:42 when I asked you when you stopped me or whatever,
I would still be wrong.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay.
So I just need to prove that daylight didn't end at 7:11 then today, and you're wrong then, right?
What they call official sunrise and sunset is what we're on.
Hey, we're on the same page. Hey,
I was gonna say,
we're on the same page.
Not daylight. Which one? Give me just a minute. I'll be done with this.
Well, before he tows it, I just want to talk to him.
Officer Embley. So,
Well, no, I want to talk to him real quick. I don't want to talk to you. Okay?
would you let him know about the retaliation of this?
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Don't let him touch it.
Hey, don't touch my bike yet, y'all. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't think they're right on it. The way the motorcycle permits work, I'm 32 years old. A motorcycle permit works the way that it reads. That once you go over 16, you get new. Like you can only ride from 16 to 21 with X rights on a permit. Then once you go over 21, it's like the permit's open like a motorcycle license. He's interpreting that I'm not valid to ride. He pulled me over at 32 minutes. The way the permit's written, you can only ride after 30 minutes after dark. He's claiming he stopped me 32 minutes after dark. I also have I'm 32, so my permit's open. You guys, that's the county doesn't want you guys touching it yet. All right, that's all I'm saying. Can I call AAA and get it towed home?
So I told them exactly what we saw.
Okay, I appreciate you, man. I mean, because that's not, we know it's not okay. Yeah, I guess you guys can go ahead and tow it. No, I just wanted you to wait because that's what he said. I didn't want you guys to have to get it back down. Can you guys be gentle with this? It's a classic and it's vintage and you can't buy parts for it even. So if it gets damaged,
I tell you what, when I loaded on that truck, I got a thing that says damaged or no damage. You gotta sign a paper.
There's no damage besides my license plates, Lisa.
I'm not gonna damage it either.
Yeah, and I got the cop. I'm worried because it's going to the impound, and I've got people that just Officer Emily's son just flung rocks on my mom, so he has access to the impound. So I'm worried that something's going to come to my bike while it's sitting there. Man, Penrod, I really wish you would have just not been all in this, man. I know you're kind of like, damn, this sucks too.
It's all part of the job.
I know, but it made it harder when he did that shit.
And like I said,
And you're his boss too, right?
huh?
You're his boss too?
I am
So,
over him. I
okay,
outrank
well,
him.
I got a question. So this is where one of the questions comes from. He keeps telling me to stop talking and stuff like that at different times. I think he's mistaken. I'm allowed to talk whenever I want to talk, even if you guys don't like it, right?
I know.
Okay, as long as you heard that, Mobley. You can't tell me I can't talk, sir.
You want to help me push that up there?
I'll ride it up there if you guys want, or we can... Actually, I don't really want to ride it up there. I'm scared I'm... Hello? Hello?
Ryan,
Yes.
this is Penrod.
Yes.
Been trying to get a hold of you.
But I only sent you that message maybe an hour ago, sir.
I mean, it's been longer than an hour, but either way, if you want to, I spoke with the chief.
I'll be there in 5 minutes at City Hall, Officer Penrod. I'm leaving my house now. I would like my property.
Well, what I was telling you is I'm going to give you your property and I'm going to avoid the ticket.
That's fine. I just want my property.
Now.
I understand that.
Okay, I don't want any more contact from anyone with the Louisiana Police Department like this. I told you last night numerous times you read the law in front of me, and you blah 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 is what you said on my video when reading the part that applies to what I was telling you. I told you they were going to throw you under the bus and use you. He's like, I don't want to argue with you. Let's just get your bike back, blah, blah, blah. So they kept trying to get me to sign the papers because he called me at 9 o'clock at night.
I will release your vehicle, your motorcycle to you. That's what I wanted to get a hold of you to say. I tried to get a hold of you.
Well, why when I was there at 8 o'clock this morning did I not get it then, if you guys have known this?
Okay, when I got your message, I then spoke with the chief, and he agrees that looking at a different statute than I was looking at.
No.
You read me that statute, sir.
Same statute.
And the chief also authorized for me to contact you back, which I tried to do. That's why we ended up having to send a message. Chief had to send a message to the mayor that I'm suspended.
The mayor is the only person that's a part of any city. I have every single city official blocked on Facebook. I just didn't even think to ever block you. When I realized that you were unblocked, I then decided to send you the message so that you would be aware of the law. And I blocked you because I do not wish to have any contact with you further than this situation, Officer Penrod.
Do is reach back out to say, upon further view of a different statute.
What statute? Can I get the statute that you furtherly reviewed?
I'm not going to argue with you, Ryan. I'm just trying to make.
All right. Well, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Like I said, Officer Penrod, I just want my property back, and
No,
wherever we go, I'll meet you at the impound in about. It'll take me about 10 to get there, so I'll meet you at the impound in about 10 minutes. I want my property back. I'm gonna ride it on out of the impound, and where we go from my 1983 violation is there.
Listen to me a minute. I have to run by the station to get the form. I will have you sign the form. We will make.
I'm not signing anything, sir.
then I can't give you the bike. I have a tow form.
I do not wish to sign anything though, is the problem.
You just redact the document.
Okay, well then I'll redact the document is what I'm told to do. Okay, that's fine.
Redact whatever you don't agree with.
I couldn't see anything on my bike at 9 o'clock. It was dark out. So I didn't want to sign any papers because I didn't want to remove myself of holding them liable. I didn't want to sign anything, agree to anything.
Because you're not releasing them from anything.
Because I'm not releasing you guys from any sort of liability on this. My Fourth Amendment was violated.
You're releasing me of anything. You're just saying you received your...
Well, I mean, you are aware it's dark out right now, so you're having me sign this in the dark, and I'm going to have to figure out if there's damage on my vehicle in the dark.
I'll bring it downstairs. We'll take care of that, and then we'll go and get your bike.
Okay, well, I'm gonna record in there.
By all means, do.
Because I need it lit up like daylight in there, Officer Penrod, because I want to make sure my bike has no damage and wasn't tampered with.
I understand that's what you need.
Because I told you last night, sir, what they were doing. I told you were being used as a pawn.
Mr. Jacobs, I will see you in a little bit. I'm not going to have an argument.
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay, I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to make this right, okay?
But it's not going to be right from this. You know that there's more than this is to make it right.
Your vehicle.
I'll be there. I'll be there shortly. And so I just wanted my bike. I told you. I told you though. You got thrown in the shit, man. They threw you into this, Penrod. I liked you too, and you came back. Who got out of RJ's truck last night when you were here?
They were already here when I...
Because you know Jones was in that truck, right? I've been told that Jones was in there when they assaulted my mom, and that's why RJ didn't get arrested.
No, county has taken that case.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, county has taken.
Hopefully you're being a good witness on that.
First thing I want.
I don't want to sign nothing. You can record that I'm getting access to my property. I can't sign anything because I'm not waiving any rights on this, Penrod. I'm shook up. I'm emotionally distressed. My bike was in the weather all night last night. You stole my property at gunpoint.
Not a gunpoint.
Do you have a gun on your hip? Deprivation of rights under the color of law. You guys stole my property, sir.
All right. You don't listen to me for...
No, I don't really want cops explaining. You cops explained all last night to me, and I told you you were wrong.
All right, and I told you I would say if I was wrong, and I misinterpreted a section of the law.
I know, and that's what you're going to use for qualified immunity, right?
No, it's not. What I'm trying to tell you is if you look, here's your ticket. I'm getting ready to void it. I want you to verify this is what I wrote.
I don't even know what it says. I couldn't read your handwriting. What you gave me, I couldn't even read.
This is the top ticket.
I couldn't even read what you gave me last night.
Is that what you signed?
Yeah, that's what I signed, but I couldn't read that because the yellow is unlegible. You should read my yellow one. Okay, I can't read anything.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to show you to even make it right. I'm voiding this ticket.
If you want to keep it, we can do that too. I don't care because it's not going to hold up in court. Mylan will see this and see what you guys are doing to me. I told you what's going on, Penrod. I told you. They're using you, sir.
You saw that I voided the ticket.
Yes, they're using you, sir. Can I let me get a recording of that so I can get that it says void, because I don't want November 10th to come around and me not to show up. And
that's why I'm trying to talk and say, hey,
can we be real? All right, did they send you to come get me?
No.
Well, how did you even get my information? When did you stop me prior to this to know my information for my permit?
I had it from a previous officer stop. A lot of times they record if somebody has a permit.
They passed all my information amongst all the officers.
I called and asked, did you have a endorsement for a motorcycle? They said no, you just had a permit. That is.
So last night you called to the dispatch.
Yes.
So while I was here, you guys were there and you called the dispatch to ask what I had, so that then before I ever left though, you did that, right?
I asked if you had a motorcycle endorsement.
So you did that to plan to come get me when I went to leave, right? So why did you call them in advance?
Would you like to go out and get your motorcycle?
Oh, 100%. But this is not done, Penrod. This is a 1983 violation. Title 18, 242. I've been telling you guys this. Excuse me?
I take it that you have advised me, Mr. Jacobs.
And when I advised you last night, sir. I advised you last night. And Embley was down there at Abel's while that all happened. You guys planned this, Penrod. You planned this. You know that I never parked my bike in the weather like this, like it was overnight, man?
That I did not know.
Yeah, I told you that last night. It's been garage kept in its entirety since I've built it. And I got that bike in pretty much pieces. So I'm going to probably need it detailed also. Okay, Penrod?
I'd like to do an inspection with the driver's license.
I'm just worried about the stuff that's going to get me home. I don't want Emily's son to have crawled through your guys' little hole in the fence that you have that I saw last night and to have damaged it. Like I said, Penrod, I don't have any disdain for you, but you have to understand, I told you last night, I spent all of my extra time and money into this bike. If it's not on my kid, it's on this. This is my baby. My leather seat was in the sun today. It's always been garage kept. I don't ride this in the rain. I'm sure there was dew on it this morning. I'm sure all my exposed metal is going to be rusted. Like, I don't know how we make this right. I really don't. And I like you because you normally have been straight up with me, but they used you, man. They told you to come get me, whether you admit it or not. I know the truth, Penrod. There's no way you targeted me like this out of nowhere. So I literally, I signed it and then put duress beside it because they were making me sign in order to receive my property.
Word.
And then I got my bike. I'm sitting there going over it, which you can see in the video. And as I'm looking over, my mom pointed out that there was a dent in my gas tank that wasn't there before. It looked like it fell over, to be completely honest. And it would make sense because they put my bike in gravel and I have taller suspension on the back end. So it makes the lean angle higher. So the kickstand in gravel, all that extra weight on it probably collapsed.
Right.
Yeah, and so because when we got there, I watched them unload it and I watched them put it there. And when I got there the next day, it had a board underneath my kickstand that I didn't watch them do when they were there the night before. So I think it fell
Makes
over
sense.
and they knew that it fell over. Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is when I misinterpreted that section of that law, I am telling you straight out,
But
I made the mistake. I'm trying to make
do you remember when you said blah, blah, blah when you were reading it to me? I've got it on the video, in my video, where you were reading it and you said blah, blah, blah. You skimmed right over that part.
I'm not doubting what you're saying.
You skimmed right over that part. I mean, and what worries me is I told you last night, I do what I do. I don't hate cops. That's been alleged that I hate officers.
And I don't hate you, Mr.
No. But I'm saying I don't hate cops, and it's been alleged that I do. I do what I do because if you guys aren't educated to our rights and the laws, and I get this sounds condescending, it might sound rude, but most officers will respect this. People will get hurt. The one thing in this world that is the most dangerous to a good cop is a bad cop.
Okay, I agree.
So I don't like bad cops. Your leadership is two bad cops. Or actually, I guess you're above Embley, but the one above you is a bad cop. I know he was in RJ Embley's car when my mom was damaged by rocks last night. Look at her leg. She's got an extra bruise on her leg even, one above the one.
Okay, right there.
I see that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it sucks, man.
And then we have reason to believe that the chief was
in the vehicle.
at the time and did nothing.
I mean, I hope it gets me home safe. Like I said, I work on my bike myself. I built it, so I mean, I'm not seeing anything too wrong with it. Nope. Nope, the only dent was the one that's under my sticker right there. That might be where they put straps across it or something. I don't know. But that's damage that I didn't have. Penrod was employed there for maybe a month after that happened, but I want to say it was like the next council meeting, an executive session happened, and Penrod then all of a sudden is no longer a cop. Like I said, I was kind of sad because he was actually a cop that I felt like was a better cop that they just used. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
like
that
he
was
had always been somewhat nice to me.
maybe that was their way of getting rid of a good cop. They used him.
Well, and that's
right.
Then that's kind of my thought too. I mean, all cops, it seems like they all tend to follow the blue line. So I mean, there is good cops, but it's to an extent. I always say that to people is you can only trust certain officers so far. I mean, I've known some cops since I was a kid, so it gives me a little more trust in them since they know me to my core. They've known me since I was, in my opinion, a shitty kid, little punk, to where I'm at now in life. And I give most of them the benefit of the doubt. There's some cops I went to high school with. They've known me. They tend to treat me like a human being. That's all anyone wants, is to be treated like a human being at the end of the day.
Right.
You're not my boss. You're not my daddy. You don't pay my bills. Don't talk to me like you have some sort of perceived authority over me. And that's where a lot of people feel the disrespect from them. That's where they lose us.
Cops seem to do that a lot to the people. Talk to them in a condescending way, being aggressive and trying to stir shit up. And people don't like being talked down to, not by their family members, not by their neighbors, not by anybody at the grocery store, not by the people at the DMV, and not by the cops. People do not like to be talked down to, and cops seem right,
especially if we're paying their salaries.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. It's bad when you get disrespected. If you go to the fast food restaurant, you go to whatever that's a private business, it sucks when they disrespect you, Walmart, whatever. But when we're paying these people salaries, to me, that adds a little bit extra to it. It's like, what the hell? You think you have this right to talk to me this way? I'm your boss. And somewhere along the lines, they've lost it. We are their boss. We pay their salaries. And they tag these people like if you stand up to it, you're a sovereign citizen. It's like, that's how am I a sovereign citizen? I pay my taxes. My vehicle's licensed. I follow the laws I don't even necessarily agree with. I think that there's laws people push, and it's like sometimes I'm like, ooh, that's really pushing on the line, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I like that. That's how we don't find the boundaries, is unless you push on the line. Thank you for seeing that, Mom. I literally didn't have any other dents besides the one that's right here. The only dent that's on this bike is right here where the triple tree hit right here. Where before I got it, when it went down, look, I'll show you. I'll peel the sticker off. You can see when I turn my handlebars, the triple tree hit right here, and that took paint off. So there was actually paint there. But that's the only dent that's been on this bike since I've owned it ever. And now I've got those two in my irreplaceable gas tank. Yeah. I need a new tin set now because my fenders have to match my gas tank. I told you, Mom. I know. Listen, I'm portrayed like I don't know what I'm talking about because sometimes I say the wrong thing. I'm sorry that I get emotional, but I know the law. Yeah, that's all I see otherwise. It must have fallen over.
That's probably why the board isn't.
Oh, that's true. Remember the board.
When you was here, Randy Mobley brought the board over to put that on there in case anything happened.
I never saw Mobley. You were the last person I saw. So Mobley came and put the board underneath my bike, and now I have a dent. Now I have a dent, which is right where if a rock hit my gas tank when it tipped over. What's crazy is I have crash protection, but that means my bike rocked when it tipped over to hit. That means it went above the crash protection on whatever it hit.
Anything else?
Nope. I just hope my gas tank didn't get open, man. I just want to get home. I didn't want to do all this.
All right. Two small dents to the left side front gas tank under the flame graphic.
Yep.
That's where they're agreed?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This says I release the property to you.
This is not waiving any sort of rights or anything?
This waives nothing. This just says I am giving you this bike. It says property and or items claimed. 1990 Harley Davidson, it's red, it's an 09. On 9-6, excuse me, there is an error here.
Well, because you know on my ticket you also, you also
so
wrote.
we know the towing company too, so we can include them.
You know,
in the
you also
lawsuit.
wrote on my ticket, sir, that it was 7:45. So had the 30-minute thing been valid, I have you on video saying you pulled me over at 7:43. So it's like you even did that to add 2 minutes.
I looked at the clock in my car. So
I'm just saying.
I'm not debating that I turned my lights on at 7:43.
42, because
43.
my phone was here and I had to get my phone out. And my video starts at 7:43. So there was at least a minute that you let traffic go by before you got out of your car on me.
I turned my lights on as soon as my phone said 7:43.
So you were behind me waiting for it then, right?
Right there.
Man, I expected to do this interview and look at Penrod's story and use it as an example for cops not to let their supervisors or other cops push them in a direction to harass someone, violate the rights, because it could be your job hanging in the balance. I'm not gonna lie, I expected to use this interview as an opportunity to ridicule a cop for working at Walmart after violating somebody's rights or something like that, but it turns out to be more kind of a sad story, right?
It's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. I mean, and the guy, and I know the guy's daughter. She's a really nice girl, but it seems like maybe he doesn't even have much of a relationship with her because he's kind of burned. Like, she has to wear what her dad's made for her in this small community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, my video went viral in my town and everyone knows that's her dad. Like, I feel bad about that too. She wears that. So she has to, like, I feel like that's part of it, is like she almost had to feel like she was separating herself from her father so that she didn't have to wear the bad behavior he's doing. And that's sad too to me. It's like the whole way around, officers don't often probably think about that aspect of what they're doing, you know, because at the end of the day, phones bring everything to the light. These cameras that everyone has back in school when you're doing math, you're told by your teacher you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. Well, now we do with our phones. They damn sure didn't think we would have cameras.
Right. No shit. No shit.
You know?
Man, look at cops. If you're looking at this man right now, do not fuck with him. You will probably you'll probably lose your job. You know what I'm saying? This guy will hound your ass if you go try to work at another department. He'll make sure that you'll know who he is. Do not fuck with Roach J. If you see him out there, do not violate his rights. Take it from me, man. Don't do that to him. You'll be doing it to yourself.
Honestly, it's not even bad though, man. Like, I went to a parade today. Our town's having a festival that we have every year called the Color Fest. The chief of police in town, he drives by, he gives me a big wave, super nice guy. Like I said, I've known him since I was a kid. He was a county cop when I was a kid, and me and him didn't always get along, you know?
Word.
He had an incident with my dad when I was younger that basically either he's lying or my mom's lying, and I don't think my mom's lying. So it's like, but I just chop it up to he was young. He always treated me with respect when talking to me. I'd call him a piece of shit. I'd go in on him like I do. And he came back at me with, if you ever want to talk and hear my side, I'm willing to talk to you. And I always thought about that. And then when the Jones stuff happened, he would comment on posts with the stuff Jones was doing, and he seemed equally outraged. He didn't work in the community at the time. He was a deputy or something for a neighboring county, but he saw the bad behavior of a law enforcement officer and called it out.
Word.
And so it was like that. That's how you earn my respect in this world, is you do things that are respectable.
Word.
And it's like I'm walking through, the festival, and one of the cops that I grew up around, how you doing, Ryan? How you been, man? I'm doing good, buddy. Hope you're doing good too. Stay safe. You know, it's not just always like a straight disrespect from me towards law enforcement, because I really do think we have a reason. We need cops. We need law enforcement. Otherwise, it'll just be turmoil, in my opinion. I believe in law. I hold the Constitution as the highest law of the land. You know, I think there's morals and then there's laws, and I think that the Constitution is what separates America from like China and all these other places. That's the one thing we have. So I hold that really highly. My grandpa escaped, the Soviets as they were coming through Austria. My grandpa got his family out in the night. He instilled on me and my brother how important it is that we have the Constitution. So it's something that always needs to be fought for. Well, my brother, he went to the military. I couldn't do that stuff because I'm disabled. One thing that God did bless me with is a big mouth, though. Yeah, my brother always tells me, he's like, man, you couldn't fight the way I fought, but you do it your own way.
Yeah, you do.